Hey guys, it's Thunder here, and welcome to yet another episode of Rivals. Finally, I'm getting back to doing these because I decided on doing a bit of a different approach to these. Now, this is only episode 9, and I'm up to about episode 42 when it comes to just the amount of requests I have. So, just for the time being, I'm willing to go up to about 8 more requests, at the most about 50. But after I get to that point, I'm going to have to ask that I will not be taking any more requests until I get the remaining episodes done. And then once I've finally gotten up to that point, we can start opening it up again. I just have too many to get to right now because this, again, 42 episodes currently listed. This is only the 9th one. So, anyways, in today's episode, we're going to be back on Gran Turismo 2. Basically, what I'll just do is, the thing has been reorganized now, so that I'll just go through all the games that are done, the requests done for that specific game, just get them out of the way, then move to the next one, and then the ones that only have one thing for it will be at the bottom. But we'll finish up with the remaining ones for Gran Turismo 2, then we'll probably move on to a couple of Gran Turismo 1, then we'll go to Gran Turismo 3 and 4, and you get the rest. So, anyways, finally, requested by the Real Mail, I've got 2 sports sedans from Japan. We're going to be starting with the Mitsubishi Galant VR-4. We had a Mitsubishi in the last episode with the Legnum. But now it's time for its regular sedan variant, the Galant VR-4, to see if it can pick up the pieces from the Legnum. Same amount of horsepower as the Legnum at 267 horsepower. Not as heavy, though. It's a lighter car at 3,218 pounds versus 3,461 pounds. Its competitor will not be a Nissan, but it is going to be a Subaru, the Legacy B4 RSK. Now, on paper, this should technically be a better car because it has more horsepower at 285 horsepower and weighs less at 3,108 pounds. So, roughly about a total of 110 pounds lighter. And it's a little more powerful, so things are probably going to be looking up a little bit more for the Legacy, but we don't know yet. Maybe the Galant will be a bit of a surprise car. We're about to find out for sure, though. We're going to take the cars over to where is the one that has Grindelwald? There it is. Grindelwald is the track that we're going to be testing these cars on, just to see how well they do, and hopefully they should do fairly well, I would imagine. But we should see. So the same things apply, where these cars will have roughly about 3 laps to get around the track, to set a time as fast as possible. And because the Galant will be going first, it's going to be setting the benchmark that the Subaru Legacy is going to have to see if it can beat. And might I say, it's good to have a Rivals episode take place at Grindelwald, one of my favorite tracks of Gran Turismo that's never appeared in another game since Gran Turismo 2, which is a real shame because it was pretty unique in its own way, and it's uphill, like sweeping corners here, sudden elevation changes. It was different, and I liked it quite a bit. It's a shame we've never seen it since. I would just love to see it come back one day. Who knows? But yeah. So far, what are my impressions of the Galant driving it? It drives very similar to the Legnum. It's a little more, I'd say it's probably just a little bit more loose, but that could just be down to the fact that it is a lighter car compared to the Legnum. So, you know, that reduction of weight might be what gives it that bit of a more loose feeling to it, but it does have a bit sharper handling, which is nice. I mean, to be fair, I was sort of expecting that with the Galant over the Legnum. But, you know, it does do a fairly decent job around the track so far. If I can just nail these corners down, and we can probably get a pretty good lap out of it, because, you know, that 144.6 is just an opening and just trying to get used to driving the car lap, so, you know, don't let that be the lap that decides it for this car, and which I know it won't be. So we're gonna want to make sure that we can get this car going smoothly balanced around the corners. If we can the less we can do of getting this car sliding, the more we can do to keeping the grip, so we can keep the speed going. So we definitely are going to want to keep that as a priority. Just trying to balance speed here and make sure that I'm not going way off or nothing. I can just pretty much take that left-hander at full throttle. Don't have to let go at any point. And I'll be giving this 3 flying laps, so this is technically the first of the 3. So, all right, we're coming up to a more cautious area. Careful now. Oh boy, careful, careful, careful. These corners that come up are sharp, and you really gotta ease off on some power. Okay, so far this is looking pretty well to get a decent first lap. Well, except for that was not very good. Come on, let's not get it. Let's not let that be the case for the next 2 laps. As we come across the line, we start off with a 1:33.180 for the Galant, so not bad. Again, I kind of wish this car was just a little bit more stable. It likes to get its tail out a bit, which is a bit surprising because this is a 4-wheel drive car. I wasn't exactly expecting it to want to have a bit of tendency to do that, but it does seem to want to get a bit of slide in there. So I guess maybe the Galant just prefers to do that. Well, I'm sure in real life it's actually a little more stable than what I'm seeing here. It's just, here it's just wanting to be a bit of a sneak drifter, and Jesus, that corner was bad. I need to actually have corners where I'm not hitting the wall. That would be nice. Because, my God, I'm not... just some of these corners I'm just shitting the bed with, and that's not exactly something I'm proud of. I want to be able to get through these corners clean as possible. No, real, wall contacts or anything like that. Okay, that was at least a little more speed around that time, so that's good. And also just a little bit more speed through there as well. I'll try to make up for some lost time because of the couple corners earlier on. And there we go. That was a lot better. Didn't have to worry about hitting a wall. Able to keep a good portion of my speed. This should... Honestly, these last few corners could potentially make this a better time than that 1:33.1. And it's going to. We got it down to a 1:32.449. Nice. Now, if we can get this last lap to just have everything come together, we could see a pretty good lap out of this car. We got a bit of slide. Just make sure you bring it down to 3rd. Alright, we're good. And you bring it down to 2nd. That's fine. Just at least gives it a bit more throttle. Okay. We're looking good. So far, I'm liking how this is going. Oh, might have cut a bit too much there, but that's fine. Still better than how it went the previous lap. We can full throttle it through there, no problem. Okay, let's just push it as far as I can. I'm not gonna try and keep my steering at a bit of a minimum here because there's no real reason for any sort of heavy steering. I might have gone a bit crazy there, but that wall tap kind of helped with slowing the car down a bit. So, I'm okay with that being the case. Oh, careful now. Ah, that was good. That was good. All right. We should be able... I do believe at the pace I'm going, this will probably, again, be better than the lap time previously set, so we'll be able to get the best lap time out of this car so far. We are going to set it with a 1:31.228, which is a fairly decent lap for this car, for the Galant around this track. So 1:31.228 is the time to beat for the Legacy. So, I have this firm belief that this car probably is going to best that time. So we shall see if that is the case, because again, it's just already got more power and it's a lighter car. So it's already got those two things going for it for the Legacy. So I expect that we'll probably be seeing those come into effect, and the Legacy will probably but perform better than that of the Galant. Alright, now let's just get through here, and already I'm noticing quite a big difference. This car is definitely a lot more stable. It's keeping its wheels moving. There's not much sliding around. It's definitely putting its power down better than the Galant was, so you can definitely chuck it in at better speeds. I mean, unless you do that, in which you don't, you should be slowing down a bit more, like I hadn't. But I can definitely see that this car is probably just the feeling, the way that it goes. It is probably going to outdo the Galant, and all we're looking for is to just beat a 131.228. So, oh god, I was going so quick there that I did that. It was a bit dumb. Again, it's an opening lap, so it's not exactly a huge thing to worry about at the moment. Now, of course, we know that the first lap isn't going to best what we saw from the Galant altogether, because it. But this is at least a much better opening lap, but that's because I'm getting a little bit more used to the track again. Whereas with the Galant, it was the first lap doing around this track in the long period of time I had since LP'd this game, because it's the LP was the last time I really properly played through this game, so. Ooh, we're going a little bit too wide there. It's not exactly perfect, but again, just the sharp difference between the Legacy and the Galant is the Legacy just puts its power down better. It feels more torquey, so probably does have better torque as well. It feels more stuck to the ground. It feels like it wants to really go through these corners as quick as possible. Like it just feels like the car is more alive, more is going on. It just wants to be a quicker, faster car than what it's going up against. So I would honestly be pretty surprised if we end up not being able to beat that 131.228. But I personally believe that the Legacy is probably on track to do that, especially since I nailed that perfectly. That was beautiful. That could have been a little better, though. That wasn't exactly anything too splendid. Bonked that a little bit, but got through there very well. Yeah, I think I can just tell we're already on pace to be beating that 131.228. In fact, this is going to be a pretty excellent time. Look at this, 129.762. That is a great time. That's definite improvement over the the Galant. This Legacy just overall just has had the edge with being the slightly more powerful, lighter car, and it's also honestly a better driving car because it knows how to use its power. It's more stable. It doesn't want to get a bit of tail out like the Galant does. It likes to just go and go and go, and it's honestly, for the kind of car that it is, it does a very good job at it. So I'm going to say, in terms of lap, the Legacy is the best, and in terms of how the cars driving experience, the Legacy, again, is the better car to go with. It's a bit of a shame for the Mitsubishi, but neither the Legnum or the Galant were able to topple their rivals for their respective episodes, but I guess that's how it turns out to be sometimes. So, between the two, the winner, of course, is the Subaru Legacy B4 RSK. You could probably tell how it's definitely been a while for me getting back into these episodes, so it feels a bit off, but hey, I at least gave it a good shot. But that's going to do it for today's episode, so as always, stay tuned for the next episode, where we've got another GT2 episode, because we got some more GT2 requests, where the pace of the cars is going to pick up quite a bit. So, stay tuned for that episode, and as always, guys, if you want to, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, donate to my Patreon to support the account, or join my forum boards. They're all in the description box down below in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care.